It's a nice cup of tea kind of day. You guys, thank you for joining in. My name is Jan. I'm working on a little game in my spare time. This one is tentatively called The Adventurer. It is part of a Udemy course by CobraCode that I've been expanding on. So one of the things I expanded was adding little intro and outro animations for the very familiar looking character. Oh, still learning Aseprite and how to select the correct animation and then hit enter. So let's do what I usually do on a day off like today. It is Saturday, the 1st of March, 2025. The first Jetpack is about to be released for public consumption. No. But there's a new iPhone, so that's great. A 16E. Here we are. So there's a number of videos that I've been recording over the last 2 weeks, because I think I definitely missed a week publishing and keeping everyone informed of what is happening. And yeah, so there's I'm kind of just jumping right in, even though you've not seen a whole bunch of updates, and I'm not, because I'm so out of it on a Saturday. I'm not quite sure what I talked about last time and where we were when I left off. So I'm just going to talk about the game as if it's the first time you're seeing it or I'm seeing it. So this is a little top-down RPG where the Z orders are still not quite lined up for all the characters, as you can just see. However, for the animated player, they do work. See, the coins, you can walk behind and pick them up. There is now a little message at the bottom of the screen. There is now a zoomed in camera because I wanted that Zelda-like camera where you transition from room to room, like in the original 8-bit game. And I realized that I actually had in my hodgepodge of gaming projects, I actually had something of a BP camera type system where I could manipulate the camera. And so this is one of the things I've done. The other thing I've done is this gentleman right here is going to disappear at some point. I attempted to build a HUD. Well, so. As in, it worked. And I can show you, because why not? Tends to load up pretty quickly. Save. Here we go. This is a repurposed main menu from my previous project, which was more of a 2D side-scrolling platformer. And it works, except it doesn't. But it does. I just have to click on something that, in this case, doesn't do anything. And now the gamepad works. Right? But I was a little bit annoyed. I was getting annoyed because I just couldn't figure out why it wouldn't automatically jump to the gamepad, especially because, well, I made a button that doesn't really do anything that says choose specifically for that reason, and it used to work, and then it stopped working. And this is one of those things where things stop working, and I just can't figure out why. So realizing that's no good, I started thinking outside the box, and I'm like, well, I have this dialogue system. So I can just use the dialogue system, right? I want to have credits, I want to have instruction manual, a fresh start where it gets rid of any game save and it just makes a new game save. But for now, we'll just continue. I added some story beats, like this is a bad dream, you're back in the dungeon. And I have intros to levels. Squid, squid. And because I'm on the menu, then the cursor disappears. Here we go again. Let's make sure the fat size error thing. Where that's may be. Okay. So we have a main menu that is dialogue. I decided to escape. Continue your adventure means load the last save. Find my here. And then I can just continue. I thought it'd be nice to have some, since it's a dialogue system, to just have fun creating a bit of dialogue. But I also added a new pause. This actually came with the dialogue system as well, but I've just modded it to make it look like this. A little quest screen, as you can see. Lots of little progress. So let's just play. All right. I can walk in front and behind the enemy. We can also die, and I'm down to my last heart. We can have conversations. We can receive items. A little pop-up again at the bottom of the screen. Now, because I'm using this zoomed-in camera, I haven't quite lined it up correctly, so you can't see that this is a door that you can interact with. I mean, I suppose you could just walk and try. But there is actually an indicator. And then there's this Zelda-like transition. Again, the cropping of the next screen isn't quite lined up with the first screen, so there's a bit all these zooming, but it's getting there, so that's nice. Some items still jump around. This is the edge of the camera system, isn't it? See? So you zoom out and you zoom back in. You get random loot. I have a shop. And this was quite an undertaking because I wanted to make sure that you can have 2 items left, 1 item left, and that the shopkeeper would keep track of what you bought and would also see what you need and don't need. Like if you're at full health, then um, if you're full health, then you don't need to buy the heart, and so there will be a different reaction. Still that jitter that I'm gonna have to fix somehow. Same with the coin, some more jitter. Okay, another transition, but here the player doesn't get frozen in place. Random loot, different size coins is all working. And then this is the new exit of the level. So watch this. See, you go down a cave, you come up somewhere else. That should, of course, be walking down the stairs, but that would be asking a little too much. And so we're in the next level. I have a rudimentary inventory screen, which you can't really see because it's printed in the top corner. Maybe now. No, okay. That should be a proper pop-up of sorts. You can hit enemies through the door. That's another little thing. These are all things that are kind of not important, you know. Um, the labels have to be moved because the camera has moved. This character now gets cut off when I talk to him. So that's another thing where it's like, we can probably position that a little bit better, or simply not have a store lined up like this. See, I have enough of these. Anything else? Got any Zambos? Yes, something else. Loops the conversation. Of course, I click too fast and do the same thing. Thumbstick is now working. It's nice because you can walk slowly, fast, and I'm thinking of making a different animation for that, of course. And yeah, I just want to make more levels, you know. And so I did something exciting today. I discovered the open art, opengameart.org website with copyright-free or licensed art that people have been kind enough to share for just a little credit. And yeah, I found some cool stuff. And then I went back to itch.io and I found this pack. Let me just call it again. Well, I keep getting this error, like access none is trying to read the HUD, but then when I go there, I get this very generic thing. So I don't really know what it's complaining about. And it also seems to be at random. Okay, we don't want to see the collision. Pixel crawler, and Sunnyside World. And one of the things that's really exciting is that it comes with, let's see, assets. It comes with Aseprite. So I can just double click this. There we go. Did I lock this already? I also discovered the mouse wheel can be clicked and then you can drag. I don't know if this is too dark or the light is just in my eye, but there's a very cool zest that I'm definitely going to be using. Might recolor it, or as they call it, flipping assets. Make it a little bit more my own, but this is cool, right? This also seems very dark. I believe there is a mock-up, some social. There we go. There you go. See? So they actually want to show off what you can do with it. And that's pretty sweet. Ah, so that's what those purple things are. Like spilled wine or something. It's pretty cool. It's a nice detail. Yeah. Check this out. Right? So I actually thought like they did this inside a game engine, but there's actually a PNG for a light source that is just a blob, and then you can obviously set the opacity lower. Very cool. Same with this cone-shaped light source. A hole in the wall. Yeah, just really, really nice art. There's one in the chest. So yeah, I am already buying assets. Of course, I want to make my own assets. Of course, I want to design everything myself. But one of the hard lessons that I had to learn with projects, video games, also comics, they make for nice hobbies where you can spend a lot of time. But over the years, I've become a little bit more focused on timekeeping, and I have learning how to do a bit of programming to think for that. Like it's this whole notion in programming where you really just want to get something going as quickly as possible, and then you iterate on it, and then you make it a little bit better and a little bit better here. Like you constantly improve, so you don't try and make like the best version of it right off the bat. Like just get stuff on screen, right? um, and so I started looking at these asset packs and just thinking like, this is great. I can get something of a world going pretty quickly and it'll look nice. And then if I want to, I get to use it, but I can also replace it with my own art. But it'll be a lot more fun with these assets than just gray boxing it and just putting blobs of gray and red and just boxes, and imagine the game the whole time. It's just a lot more fun. So yes, lots of progress, as you can see. This is, isn't there an option for the full screen? Or wasn't this one? Hmm. It's always this thing with the Pi editor where it's not quite lined up. But this seems to be fine. Oh wait, I have to click on the screen. Also have a play save point, so no story, just straight up to where you left off. So the player start moves, which is something to consider in the event begin play. Do I have a key? Yes. And I believe you will drop a key. Yes. Wait. Oh. Oh. Game over. Again, another transition. Ah, okay. I get it. When you enter this level, there's a save point, which also saves your location on the spot. And so that doesn't line up, of course, with the cave box, staircase box. Yeah, man. Lots of progress. And now the next thing is, let's look at the notes. We are in March, so it's a new note. Art, assets. Okay. Enemy spawn manager. It's going to be a big thing. But yeah, that's something to think about. So what I'm doing, of course, is like if you watch the opening of the original Zelda, that's kind of the template. You know, like you start off somewhere, there's a cave, you can walk in different directions. You go down the cave, so you walk down the cave, it opens another level. You enter that level. There's an old man who gives you a sword. So I have the beginnings of all that. Like I have an old man to talk to. There's dialogue. There's entering and exiting caves. You can walk around. There's camera transitions, but I don't have the enemies spawning in. They're simply in the level, which is fine. But these levels are very, I mean, these enemies are very basic. They're kind of like homing missiles. So they will simply go and look for the player, which means that if I have a large level and like the player starts here and there's enemies over here, they will, over time, they will simply, so that could be a fun emergent gameplay thing, but it might actually be more efficient to create scenes. So when you're in an area, there's an uh, enemy spawn area manager that will drop in enemies, just like in the original Zelda, like a little puff of cloud, or they come out of the ground or something. And when you leave that area, they get destroyed. That's kind of the thing. And I think I can do it. I think. Let's find out.